Yeah, no filter.
No, you know why I say that?
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So what was the actual trigger point that made Regan go so hard on the mutant Nick Walker recently, where he said that Nick Walker is gonna have to do one more show besides the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro to earn his Olympia spot for this year? Was it just that moment on the podcast? Or did Regan actually had some beef to pick with Nick Walker from some time ago? Because I am sure most of you guys must have forgotten that it was actually Nick Walker who openly called out Regan for editing his pictures like 2 years back when Regan was in prep for the European tour to go up against the likes of Nathan D'Asia.
Yeah, no filter.
No, you know why I say that? That's a competitor. YouTuber. I'm not an IG influencer. Not now anyway, I'm a competitor. So when a competitor edits their shit, that's going to translate on stage. Keep that shit in mind.
Say it again, Nick. It happens all the time.
Happens a lot recently.
Oh,
And Nick even called him an Instagram bodybuilder and a YouTuber, giving the impression that Regan isn't 100% dedicated to the bodybuilding lifestyle. And Nick Walker said if that was the case, Regan would have been great already. So is this gonna be a new beef in 2025? Well, we will know more about this when Nick Walker actually responds to this whole scenario, or if he even does. But that being said, we all know Nick Walker just never holds back. And honestly, I don't even think that Nick believes that Regan is gonna be his competition this year. And let's just be real, it is extremely hard to look so overwhelming next to a guy like the Mutant, who is one of the biggest and the most freaky guy in the men's open bodybuilding at the moment. And you can just see that Nick is looking so positive during this prep, and that is eventually gonna lead to him present his very best, a very competitive package at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, and possibly at the New York Pro as well. So Nick's fans, they keep on clinging to his old statistics, that he was top 3 in the world, which is true, I agree with that, but he was top 3 in the world back in 2022, and things have now changed a lot, with Samson taking the first spot. So hopefully this Nick vs Regan beef, that doesn't turn out to be like Nick vs Blessing from back in 2021, because Blessing also talked so much smack and a lot of trash during that whole time, during his journey to the New York Pro, and they weren't even in the same call out. Guys, Mr. Olympia Signature Series is now live on hostel.com. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% discount and click the arrow below to check out all the hostel products. Next up, we have an update from the reigning Olympia champion Samson Dauda. So a lot has changed when it comes to Samson's prep over the years, because just 2 years back, his food would get so low at 5 weeks out that he would just feel totally miserable during these final few weeks leading up to any show. But I do not think Samson had ever looked this big and this detailed at 5.5 weeks out of any show that he has done during his entire pro career. And that part of the prep, where he starts to feel super tired, that hasn't even started as of right now during this prep.
How do you feel? I feel freaking amazing, man. I feel even amazing the fact that I'm just less than 5 weeks out from a Arnold show. You know, at this stage, I'm starting to feel real. You know, I'm still feeling amazing now. I locked in. I'm feeling great. And hey, man, how can I not be feeling amazing, man? I got that sitting on my mental.
Now, we all know Samson Dauda wasn't the most shredded guy at the Olympia stage last year, but he still won that show because he had the best package overall. And that means they are definitely gonna try to push the conditioning. And Samson is gonna try to push that detail up a notch for this upcoming Arnold. Because even if Samson does lose a bit of his size, to get that a bit of extra detail, a bit more crispier, he will still be the biggest guy on the stage, along with Andrew Jack, of course.
You want to push conditioning even harder than the Olympia use. Oh, yeah, we already have. Yes, always. Especially at this stage of my career right now. We're not trying to, because people sort of understand. They don't understand that I hold on to my size very easily. I'm easily big. That's not a problem. We don't worry about size anymore. The last prep we've had since 2023, Arnold, I believe, is all about conditioning. It is all about conditioning. It's about getting harder each one.
So Ronnie Coleman predicted that Samson can win the Olympia 2 years ago. And what a time to be alive for Samson, that there is even a discussion of his comparisons with the greatest of all time Ronnie Coleman. Now I'm not saying that Samson can touch the prime of Ronnie Coleman, because the thing is no one can be that big and that freaky. But Samson has his own strengths, the biggest one being having such a small waist at 300 pounds on the stage. Guys, Gorilla Wear is offering a massive discount of up to 70% right now. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up is the update of Muhammad Fadal. So the man is looking pretty big and round, but at the same time very lean during this off-season phase. And he has been working on that one weak area, which is his biggest weakness, his back. And it wasn't until a few weeks ago when Fadal revealed that he had 2 slip discs that made him stay in constant pain throughout the off-season. Now he was still able to win his first pro show, the Chicago Pro, and he was second in Tampa Pro behind John De Rosa as well. I guess the one big miss was Stefan as a coach last year. That was Muhammad Fadal's Meso Olympia look, where the man just showed up so burnt out and he finished 14th, which was well below his own expectations. So Muhammad Fadal has announced that the man is in no hurry to compete and is gonna take a very long off season to make sure he makes some noticeable improvements, especially in his back. So his core strength that needs to increase, because we saw he had difficulty controlling his midsection in the side triceps and the abs and thigh shot, especially during the transitions. So that front double biceps and the front lat spread, they are money shots for him. He certainly doesn't need to take a full year off, because Fadal made his pro debut way back in 2021, and other than his back, he had quite an impressive overall size, and even his side shots, they are extremely impressive. So Breon and the reigning 212 Olympia champion, Keone Pearson, were spotted together at the LA Fit Expo, and now that Breon is onto a bigger and a more difficult challenge in the form of 212 class, questions are being asked about what are his expectations as he gets ready to compete against all these bigger and more muscular guys. So all these classic guys who weigh more, like for instance Chris Bumstead, who weigh 242 pounds on the stage. In comparison to that, guys in the 212, they are much shorter and they have more dense muscles, and they are packed with muscles on top of muscles. So these top guys in the 212 especially, they are gonna have more density and more muscle maturity. So Breon himself is also pretty open about his own expectations, and from this response, it is pretty clear that he sees himself fighting for the 212 Olympia title, and the 2 names that he mentioned and who he thinks are gonna be his biggest rivals in the 212. Both these guys are 212 Olympia champions, Shaun and Keone.
I'm confident in my abilities, I'm confident in myself, and I definitely want to definitely challenge Keone, Shaun one day soon. I think I have the goods, and I think I have the positive mindset, and I think I have the work ethic to challenge them and to do well.
So if Breon have to make a bigger impact, this has to happen this year, because the man is gonna turn 46 in 2026, and there is just no way the quads are gonna grow, especially at this age and at this stage of his career. In fact, we all know most guys are just lucky if they can just hold on to the size that they already have. So what are your expectations from Breon in the 212 class? Next up, we have an update from Elliot Looks. That's like another mutant in the making, and it is just a shame for all the bodybuilding fans that the entire world of bodybuilding did not get to see him get his pro card last year at the NPC Nationals, and that was because of his own mistakes, as he was using a lot more gear than what was being advised by his coach, and that is why he ended up in the hospital. So if a legend like Jay Cutler gives someone a shout out, that already means that that person is legit a super talent. And that actually showed when Elliot was on the stage 5 weeks prior to the NPC Nationals. So his calves and his lower chest striations, they are just so unreal, and you can make a case for him for having the most impressive physique as an amateur on the entire planet right now. So hopefully he has been taking full precautions with the way he's looking right now during the off-season, because this wasn't the first time Elliot had a health scare while in prep. Maybe he needs to find a good circle of people around him to keep a check on him, especially during those final few weeks leading into the show. Because whenever this finally happens, whenever he steps on stage, Elliot is gonna become a pro without any shadow of a doubt. And he has one of those type of physiques who is ready for the pro stage, even before earning his pro card. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.